An unexpected twist, a delightful end to a... He'd never decided precisely what to call it, although he was certain they'd have a name for it. They could put a name on any tragedy. They could put a face on it, too. How long before they put his face on it? He didn't expect them to take forever to find him, but he also assumed that something so peculiar as this could take longer than he expected. When this man had shown up, he'd thought for a moment that they'd discovered him sooner. But no, only this man showed up. His reasoning had made leaps where others had merely crawled, and that had led him here, alone, putting him in his current vulnerable position. The man capped the scalpel and placed it back in his pocket. He removed the pistol from his waistband. It was an ugly weapon he'd used only a few times. It was as far removed from his preferred method of killing as he could imagine. He cradled the gun in his hands like a prayer book, contemplated it for a moment, then looked back up at the man in the wheelchair as he began to stir. He'd be alert soon. They say you should never meet your heroes. Killing them only makes things more awkward. Chapter 1. The Polonium Gambit. I'm in a basement below the United States Embassy in Moscow, sitting across from an outwardly nervous man. His name is Konstantin Konovalov. He's already been questioned by embassy officials and CIA operatives, but that's routine for foreign employees of a U.S. embassy. I'm a mystery to him, and his eyes keep darting to the large black aluminum case sitting on the table in front of me. He knows the Americans would never use torture on a Russian citizen in a situation like this. Or rather, that's what he's been told by his Russian handlers, who prepared him for this job and routinely debrief him. The United States has more than 1,200 employees in the Russian embassy and related properties. The majority of them are Russian citizens. Hiring this many locals is a practical necessity and a security nightmare. Konovalov is a spy. Technically, all the Russians working in the embassy are. While they may not be Russian Federal Security Service employees or professional intelligence gatherers, they're regularly grilled for information. We do the same to U.S. citizens working for the Russians in our country. The difference is that I've been brought in to find out if Konovalov is a killer. 6 days ago, another Russian, Timothy Artemiev, spoke to embassy officials about the possibility of defecting. Artemiev ran a small software firm whose primary contract was with the Russian government. He built bots for hacking other computer networks. After the third time Russian authorities turned down travel permission for him to go to a conference in another country, he realized they were never going to let him leave. He was too valuable. Artemiev died 4 days ago while hiding out in one of our safe houses outside Moscow. He was poisoned with radioactive material, either thorium or polonium. Intelligence officials have narrowed down the potential suspects to 24 people. We've been holding them for several hours. In another 2 hours, we're going to have to let them go or risk a diplomatic crisis. Catching the killer also means finding out who inside the embassy leaked Artemiev's location. We can put pressure on the person we think did it, but fingering the wrong individual will surely backfire. I'm not an interrogator. I'm not even a spy. I'm a scientist. Specifically, I'm a computational biologist who uses computers to model living systems. I was asked to come here because of my so-called unorthodox methods. Mr. Konovalov, I'm going to need you to provide some samples, I tell him, as I open the latches of the case. Are you a doctor? He asks, in mildly accented English. Just a technician. I remove some vials and swabs. It'll only take a moment. I slide on a pair of thin gloves and get up from the table and walk around to him. Konovalov is nervous, but doesn't protest as I take an earwax sample. He's oblivious to the hair sample I collect as my hand braces his head. There we go, I say, returning to my seat. Just spit in that vial and we're done. He obliges, more confused than concerned. If he's our